I said it before and I'll say it again. Watch all the videos in order. That's how I post them. I typically don't post them out of order. Post them in order. So you can get the nuance of my reviews and information that I talk about in other stuff. 1-inch voice coil in the mid, 1/2-inch voice coil in the Mylar tweeter. This one's definitely not going to have as low a FS in the, so those may be the components may be the budget king of the year. So we'll check these out. Hang on. There's the manual for, this is for the components. Just a little bit dim. They put the wrong one in there. Oh well, it says RLX. No, the RLX is different. So, but there's the RLX. It says it plays down to 45 hertz. The other one they rated at 60 hertz, even though it plays down to about the same. So, rubber surround, polycone, good for boats. On cheap speakers like these that have just a steel frame, you're still going to get like 3 seasons out of them, but for the price you can't really complain. Again, we're talking about the eco-friendly and budget saving packing. Yeah, basically the same, they just put a Mylar tweeter in the middle. What I'm going to do on this one is cut it so that we can do a sweep on just the tweeter, and we'll find out the FS on the tweeter. This one's showing a little bit higher at 55, just for the mid. About Q, this is the QTS should be low. Again, it's a relative thing, but if you notice, that's real peaky. That would actually be considered a high Q. But again, because what happens at the FS is that it gets violent almost relative to the rest of the performance of the speaker, but we'll talk about more of that in another video. So I did cut the wire, so now we're going to try the tweeter. And let me recalibrate this thing. It's reading like a 2 hertz FS. Let me reset it and see how it goes. While that's rebooting, you can see the cap in there. Typically they do a 2 microfarad or even a 1 microfarad. So in fact, I'm going to go ahead and pull this out, sacrifice it. The screw for it is right behind that. Sometimes they'll put the capacitor in the pole, but in this time they put it underneath the lip. You see that thing? Won't focus. There it is. So, but we'll pull that out real quick and test it on its own. See? Just a little screw. Cut those. And then that should unscrew real quick. Looks like they added a little bit of CA in there because you can see some bloom from the CA glue. Maybe they use that to seal it up. See, what you really want to do is test it without the capacitor on it. So you don't want to test it with the crossovers. Unless you're doing frequency response, then that's different, but we're not doing that. It's blinking, but it's an old computer. Oh, it's so warm. Like when you hit a toilet seat after somebody's been there, you're like, oh, thanks, little buddy. I'm sure that's what the skipper said to Gilligan when he was finishing the load on his face. Thanks, little buddy. So I'm going to see if I can put this back together. All I did was desolder, unsolder that one. That's the input right there, is on the positive side. See the wires come up, goes through the cap in series and then to the terminal. So there's our negative, which I'll use the wire, and then on the positive I'll just hold it there at the terminal. Just waiting for this fucker to boot. Somebody was asking me about B2 audio. All B2 audio is just Chinese made stuff that they painted white, so I took a scar frame and I just painted it white. Now it's B2. And we'll put it on the GONZO Jr motor. There it goes. Yay! So, if somebody buys these, know that I put the sticky part on my scrotum. So, I shot a load in there, a little voice coil. Like, oh yeah, it's not as sweet as JP's load. No, it's not. He eats pineapple and pineapple juice. I'm too poor. I can't afford that. Hey brother, don't smash the pine. Don't break the pine. And then I'd sneak out of the Piggly Wiggly can at the Maui Pineapple Cannery, where I saw where they make molasses I don't think they do it anymore. Yeah, it's all overdone in the Philippines. But when I was there in '92, they took us on the Maui Pineapple Company, and they made for all the store brands, Safeway, Piggly Wiggly, Food Lion, all that shit. They had all the labels on the shelf. That was the first time I got exposed to OEM. I was like, what? What? You mean everybody buys the same voice coil? And the magnet? Yes, everybody buys the same fucking voice coil. And the magnet. And there she is. Good old Hermione. If you like, this is Kaleidoscope Jukebox with Leanne Skoda, who was here from Paradise Valley. And I'll put a link to this track. And I'm also building a new soundtrack for Drain the Swamp 2023. That Trump mugshot did not look... Did they ever release the New York one? That Georgia mugshot, he looks terrible. I wish somebody would like blend it with like Swamp Thing, right? Because he's down there in Georgia. Drain the Swamp. Dude, these people are serious about eating babies. That's how badly they want to eat babies. They're willing to put your president in jail, okay? Not my president, but they're willing to put your president in jail. Holy shit. There it is. 53 hertz on this little tweeter. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Never seen that before in my life. Low FS motherfuckers. Just so you know, if you ever want to build your own, you can like take an, like if you got a mid that has a blown tweeter on it, you can just take the tweeter out and make your own little pole thing in there and put your own tweeter there. So in fact, I saw a video, was it DD or Duff Bonts, one of them? Yeah, I think it was DD. Had the guy cut the dust cap off and then he mounted a tweeter in the center. Oh, we got those RLX65s too, which is the recoil version of that. But let me, no, that's it. That's the review. So real simple crossover. They just put a higher crossover. You can put a lower crossover. I don't really recommend it, but because it's a lot of work for little payback, but for the price, I'm sure these are going to be cheaper than the RLX65, which is the Echo series, and they're basically the same. They're just a yellow cone, so it's just for marketing stuff. But I like them. These seem great. They're fine. Just, you know, look for price, look for value. Doesn't really matter the brand. The speaker doesn't know what brand it is. It says recoil, but it doesn't affect the sound, how it sounds. You don't see with your ears, do you? If you do, that's really gross. That's gross. Love you guys.